Hello everyone and welcome back to our couch reviews, and this time we're going over Thor Ragnarok.
Alright.
I've been dying to talk about this.
This
is long.
Thor the Dark World wound up being one of the lesser entries in Marvel Universe, not an unwatchable piece of crap or anything, just kind of, you definitely could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, just kind of there. A lot of missed opportunities, a lot of not awesome decisions.
Yeah, a lot of
in the creative process. Not a very good script.
A lot of just kind of playing it safe and filling for time until the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So this time we are capping off the Thor trilogy. So a lot more has to happen here, and there was a risk of having a lot of elements of the Thor mythos still to play with before we burn down everything. So there's a lot of stuff that they had to combine and leave out completely.
Yeah, it's a decision. So on the one hand, they decide, okay, people are enjoyed the Iron Man movies. They're enjoying the Captain America movies, definitely. But the Thor movies seem to be a little bit lacking. What can we do, even if they're, for the most part, true to the comics, what can we do to make them, good?
Yeah.
So one decision seems to be, well, people are liking the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Let's just make it a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
We'll have an irreverent sense of humor. We'll have a huge ensemble full of obscure Marvel characters from Thor's Rogues Gallery and supporting cast.
Yeah.
And we'll have a kickin' soundtrack.
Yeah. So the filmmakers and Chris Hemsworth in particular kind of recognized that Thor as a character had gotten pretty stale.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always trying to give it that Shakespearean, that Arthurian vibe. We forget that one thing Shakespeare could get pretty off the wall sometimes.
Oh yeah,
and the Norse myths themselves are fucking bonkers. like Loki and Volstagg doing a tug of war with Thor's balls in the middle. So Thor's story about Loki turning into a snake and then stabbing him when they're kids. That might be one of the old stories. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's along those lines.
Probably is in there somewhere. And so then on the other hand, since this is going to be possibly the last Thor movie, I don't know what's going to happen in Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's still a lot of cool Thor stuff we want to feature on screen. How much stuff can we get in there? So we've seen that can be a hazard for some superhero movies like Batman and Robin or Spider-Man 3, where it's like we have to stuff as many elements in here as possible and the movie becomes a mess. Now, I don't know that I can explain why this movie isn't a mess, even though they seem to have done the same thing, but somehow this time it works.
Yeah.
And for one thing, the first half hour, we start in Niflheim and the fight with Surtur. We then return to Asgard to reveal that Odin is really Loki. We then go to Earth, where we meet Doctor Strange. And then we go to the island where we have Odin's death scene. Then they have a fight with Hela, where they rocket back to Asgard. And then they get kicked out to Sakaar, where they fall in with the Grandmaster. Meanwhile, Hela goes and starts conquering Asgard. And that's just the first half hour.
Oh, yeah.
You could make 2 or 3 movies out of that stuff.
There's never a dull moment in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Which is definitely one of its strengths, and it helps with the hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 Thor movies open with some of that tasty hammer time action.
Yeah, so in the first one he's fighting frost giants.
Yeah.
The second one he's fighting whatever he's fighting, just some rock monsters, I guess.
That's bringing a piece to the 9 realms.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and then here in the third one, the opening of this movie, it feels very much like a video game.
Oh, yeah.
So we start with, just a quick cut scene. First, Thor doing some exposition, and then exchanging some more exposition with Surtur.
Yeah.
And then he breaks loose. He fights some cannon fodder, and then he has the boss battle with Surtur, which mostly consists of throwing the hammer at his head until he goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep hitting him until his life bar drains, and then grab his helmet and get out of there.
Putting all that at the front of the movie allows him to do more unexpected things later on. Thor is stripped of his powers in the first film for most of the story. It's amazing that they got away with that at the beginning.
Yeah, so the first movie feels very much like they made a low budget Thor movie in the 80s, so they found an excuse to save money by stranding him on Earth for most of it.
Yeah. But
of course, we'll come back to that in a bit.
Yeah, but then in this one, his hammer gets squished in Act 1, like you were saying.
Yeah.
As far as Thor's character, they want to make Thor more fun to watch on his own.
Yeah. So I guess he's more hip now, which sometimes seems weird if you really like Thor, talking like he's an Arthurian knight.
Yeah. They've kind of embracing the lunk-headed but well-intentioned jock side of his character. He's been hanging on Earth. He's picked up a lot of the lingo. And while Surtur is still talking like Thor in film 1, so Thor enjoys them taking the piss out of him all the time.
Yeah, there's a moment where when they show up on Earth to find the retirement home where Odin was staying at being demolished, and then a couple of Marvel MCU fans just walk up to him, take a picture with him, just to exchange some exposition about how him and Jane Foster parted ways, and that's why Natalie Portman didn't want to be in these movies past her 2-film contract. It's kind of a shame to lose that, and also it's kind of a shame that we don't get to see any more of Natalie Portman in these movies. But okay, I mean that's one more character we didn't have to worry about. Another character we didn't, whose absence is not explained, is Sif, which is a little weird. But as we'll see, maybe it's best that she was in the movie. As soon as Hela storms Asgard, she immediately kills Volstagg and Fandral. Just swats them like flies. I don't think I liked that.
Yeah.
So she says that's later followed by, a battle scene where she, mows down a bunch of Asgardian troops and then kills Hogun. Like, why didn't she just fight all three of them in that scene? Like that, just killing the warriors three together in that scene would have had weight.
Thor also says at the beginning that he went looking for the Infinity Stones and didn't find any. Like, really, dude? In Age of Ultron, he took a bath in a magic pool and became an expert. And at Thor Ragnarok, he spent 2 years, bopping around the cosmos and has come up with nothing.
Yeah.
Did you maybe go to the collector where your friends dropped off the ether and see if he's heard anything recently? Yeah. You would find that some jokers came in here and you blew up my place with an Infinity Stone. I guess the Nova Corps has it now.
Yeah. He's just quickly saying, I didn't find any more Infinity Stones that you folks in the audience and the skeleton here don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's the thing we're going to see is they introduced the Time Stone in Doctor Strange, and ever since then we've been patiently waiting, thinking the next MCU movie is going to introduce the 6th stone, and so far it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
We thought, it didn't happen in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Surely it would happen there, but I guess they didn't want to repeat themselves, and we thought, well, surely it's going to happen in Thor Ragnarok. We're going to discover the location of the Soul Stone here. But no.
Like Black Panther, maybe? Still no?
So as far as the version of Hela they put together, played by Cate Blanchett.
Yes.
How great is it to have Cate Blanchett
Star
in the
power.
MCU?
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Next level.
Very much like some other villains in the MCU, especially Killmonger, which we'll see later. She assembles elements of a lot of different kind of Thor villains. Yeah. Hela in the comics, she's not a direct threat to Asgard most of the time. She just kind of runs the underworld where the dead go.
Yeah.
And she's not Odin's daughter, she's Loki's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they combine elements with her, with, there's a storyline called Fear Itself, where we had the Serpent, who is Odin's long-lost and erased from history brother, who's the big bad of that saga. She has a little bit of Angela, the angel girl bust over from the Spawn comics, who, once joining the Marvel Universe, becomes Thor's long-lost sister. And also there's an Enchantress who, adopts Scourge as a lackey, as her henchman number 1. And also, according to the filmmakers, there's a character named Gore, who's in some recent comics, who's just going around killing Asgardian gods. And they use him for a lot of, some of the visual elements, like her, whipping swords out of thin air, that kind of thing. Another thing you mentioned before about Thor getting stripped of his powers in the first movie, and Thor losing his hammer in this movie, which isn't quite stripping him of his powers precisely. It's more stripping him of some of his powers, like his ability to fly, and also, crack things in half.
Yeah.
But then when he winds up on Sakaar and is getting, dragged around in nets and humiliated, it feels a lot like in the first movie where he was getting dragged around and humiliated.
Yeah.
And, sedated and, hit with trucks and stuff like that. Feeling a little deja vu there, but, the fact that it's on a planet that looks like Jack Kirby's sketchbook helps helps make it feel fresh. And also the fact that we got Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Some more star power as kind of an off-the-wall choice for the Grandmaster.
Who he is just delightful.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed is that what they do in a lot of these movies is they take a character who has a cool visual design in the comics, but personality-wise is fairly straightforward and fairly generic, and they'll assign some off-the-wall character actor to play them who kind of imbues his, unique style onto the character. They put Yondu in the Guardians movies and they cast Michael Rooker. So now Yondu is a Michael Rooker character.
Oh yeah.
They cast, they had the Collector, who is the Grandmaster's brother, by the way. That's why they both have the stripe on the chin. They cast Benicio del Toro, who puts a unique spin on a fairly generic, villain of the week cosmic character. Yeah. And here they cast Jeff Goldblum, who brings all of his neurotic Jeff Goldblum-ness to the Grandmaster.
Yeah. I don't like that word slaves.
Sorry, the prisoners with jobs are arming themselves.
I'm rather glad that Carl Urban, who plays Scourge here, mostly avoided the bland Hollywood leading man trap, even though he definitely got the look and the voice and the name for it.
Oh yeah, he could totally just do that.
Yeah, and it's fun watching him play a more over the top character with his real accent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I noticed that we had a lot of the cast here is now from Australia and New Zealand, including the actors playing Thor and Hela and Scourge and Korg.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Korg. But that's another example is the director Taika Waititi playing Korg. And Korg is from the Planet Hulk comics, which a lot of this movie pulls from.
Yeah.
And he's a comrade of the Hulk, and he's an alien who's made of rocks. Yeah. And let's have Taika play him. Yeah. And he becomes a Taika Waititi character.
Yeah.
He's just this total soft-spoken weirdo.
Yeah.
Which was not... you read the Planet Hulk comics, you don't really hear Taika Waititi's voice.
No, not at all. As far as Scourge, he's always been kind of a lackey. There's not much to him.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was a little annoyed that, he gets the axe, but he never really uses it.
Yeah, so
the axe is supposed to be his thing.
Yeah, in the comics, he's Enchantress's guy. And, he's loyal and, serves her without question. And he has no problem, cutting people down for whatever reason. Here, he's kind of reluctant to do it. And I wonder if... maybe just because there's so much to do in the movie that maybe we didn't have time to do a true to the comics version of the Executioner.
Yeah.
Probably not the worst thing in the world. It's just, as long as we get him, firing his M16th, which is another image from the comics. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, so, they could have cast to play the Executioner just some WWE star with zero acting aspirations. Yeah. And it would have been fine.
They just had to make him more of a character with an arc, which I'm fine with
go a different direction. Give him a fight scene with Heimdall, or with Thor, or with Hulk. He's had a fight scene with Hulk on the Avengers cartoon.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a fight scene with anybody except for Hela's zombie troops once he turns on her.
Yeah.
Also in this movie we have him with the Hulk, who is very heavily promoted and everything. Yeah. And it's a big deal that he's in the movie. And they were originally just going to do like Planet Hulk, but with Thor, and then they put Hulk in the movie.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Which is apparently when the movie started coming together. And I really like how, if you watch the first trailer with the Immigrant song featured, and it ends with the reveal of the Hulk. And then the second full trailer kind of quickly recaps the first trailer and then picks up, here's what's going to happen in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Another thing you see in the trailers when you finally watch the movie is that a bunch of scenes look different than they looked in the trailer, because I guess this is just a thing now with the brain trust of the internet, is that they know that when they release a new trailer, we're going to pour over every frame looking for clues of the plot, so they have to trick us by taking scenes and making them look different to how they're going to look in the movie. When Hela crushes the hammer in the trailer, it's in an alley in the middle of the city, but in the movie it's in a field.
Yeah,
when
they did reshoot some stuff. There's some on-set photos of when they find Odin that is very different from what's in the film.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So they definitely...
They find him on the street instead of in the field. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. They picked that up and moved it to a different location.
Yeah, and when Thor fights Hulk, and in the final shot of the first trailer is when he uppercuts him. In the movie, he's got his lightning powers back and his crackling with energy, but not in the trailer. Also added to the cast is another off-the-wall casting choice of Tessa Thompson as the Valkyrie. Now, there's another bit of race lifting. They did it before with Heimdall to great success. And that's where we got Brunhild the Valkyrie, who's, she's a Valkyrie. She's, Nordic, total badass.
I can't believe how many of my fans are, bending over backwards to say that she's not, the real Valkyrie from the comics. No, she is. Yeah, she is. Die mad about it.
And it's sort of like in the Doctor Strange movie where he first arrives at Kamartaj and he sees an old Tibetan guy and thinks that's the Ancient One. And it turns out, oh no, that's the Ancient One, the head-shaven British woman. Even though in the comics, Ancient One is an old Tibetan guy. So, and then they do a similar thing here where we get Valkyrie's flashback, where
which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, and her fight with Hela. And see, one of her sisters-in-arms takes a blade for her, and it's this, badass, blonde-looking Valkyrie who looks the way Brunhild looks in the comics.
Yeah, that's the thing everybody says.
Yeah, but so that little things like that can be distracting. It doesn't, wreck the movie or anything. I just thought it was worth noting.
Yeah. And with Hulk, we have Mark Ruffalo getting to play more of the Hulk as a character rather than just a monster. He gets a lot of lines as the Hulk.
Yeah, so we get a lot of adding a few more touches to the comics. When Thor is going around on Earth, he's got the hammer, which is disguised as an umbrella. Whereas in the comics, it would be disguised as a cane. Until he finally smacks on the ground to turn into Thor.
Yeah.
or rather to turn, he's already Thor anyway, but just to get suited up.
Yeah.
And then, when we end up on Sakaar, he gets, a helmet to wear in the battle, a winged helmet.
Finally.
And we've got the Hulk, who finally gets to talk, like in the comics, and things like that.
Yeah, like in the classic I'm a Peter David Hulk stories, this is beginning to feel a little more like that. And he has a really cool relationship with Valkyrie, which is cool because they're defenders in the comics.
Yeah.
So they're teammates. Also, when we get to Mark Ruffalo, when he turns back into Banner, Mark Ruffalo is really playing him as more of a dweeb here.
Yes.
He's kind of very much more meek, and it's like, I don't want to be here today. What's going on? You don't even like me. You don't like the Hulk.
Playing up his neuroses, which is almost parody.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but just put as much fan service, like when Thor uses the Black Widow's little tone poem to trigger, try to turn him back into Banner. He's not. I like that he's not really sure how this works.
Yeah.
But he's seen it done, so he's just do that. And then going along with that, we see the Quinjet that Hulk wrote here, and it's still got the last video message from Widow.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little cameo.
Yeah.
Speaking of nice cameos, they just threw Doctor Strange in this movie.
Yeah.
In the scene that they teased at the end of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because it's he just, swings by Doctor Strange. He's in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's great. But this is the kind of thing that I don't mind seeing more of in the MCU. This is one of the payoffs of having a shared universe. Yeah, that sometimes characters from other movies just kind of show up.
Exactly. This is what Stan was going for when he had all these superheroes in New York City. Was that they would occasionally run into each other.
Yeah.
There's a plot point about Hela's chasing after Heimdall's sword.
Yeah. This one really bugged me.
Yeah. This is the key to the Bifrost, and once again, Heimdall is the only guy who knows what the hell he's doing.
Yes.
And is the most consistently confident character in the story. But Odin's spear also opens the Bifrost.
Yeah, we've seen it in the first movie. Loki puts the spear into the slot and works the Bifrost with it.
Yeah, and it's just and Loki does it too, and it's just sitting there on the throne. Maybe have Hela try the spear, find that it doesn't work now
that Odin's dead,
or maybe they change that security feature when they fix the Bifrost after the first movie.
But even if that were the case, Hela would still think it would work.
Oh yeah,
yeah, she would have that knowledge because she was there at the beginning.
Yeah,
but ultimately they never explain that. Even in Thor's final fight with Hela, where he's using the spear, he never he could talk to it why don't you just use this?
Yeah.
This works. But no, they ultimately it feels like they want you to just forget about that part. Yeah. And it makes no sense to me that at best Hela for some reason doesn't know that the spear works for that. But why wouldn't she know?
Yeah, she's supposed to know about all the dirty secrets.
I think it's a plot hole.
Speaking of dirty secrets, there's actually a parallel to Winter Soldier that I realized.
Uh-huh.
Cap finds out that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been taken over by Hydra. So he resolves to burn down the whole works. And here Thor finds out that Asgard is built on a pile of bones, and in the end he burns down the whole works. Mm-hmm. So when you're at some point you gotta have a hero burn down his foundations in order to evolve. I guess.
Sometimes, yeah. And you can find two MCU movies that might be more tonally different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With the humor, after a while I noticed you kind of are able to get the rhythm of it to the point where for example, when Thor's about to bust out, he's got the big ball and he's going to throw it at the window and it bounces back and hits him in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, so that you get rhythms like that so that later when Banner is going to leap out of the aircraft to confront the Fenris Wolf, that before he transforms into the Hulk, he's going to not transform and just land face first onto the bridge. So, what a twist. They didn't stop Ragnarok after all.
Yeah. Obviously, Hela was very surprised because she never imagined that
they would go that far. But I like that idea that Asgard isn't a place; it's a people.
Yeah.
This isn't about averting the prophecy; it's about causing it.
Yeah. So does the prophecy say anything about the next guy they're going to have to deal with, which is Thanos? Because at the end of the post-credits, it looks like they run smack into Thanos' ship, and it looks like after barely escaping their homeland, a lot more Asgardians are about to bite it. So that's kind of a downer.
We'll see.
Yeah. But I don't know if some of them are going to get out of there, but it looks like Loki or whoever is walking over a bunch of dead Asgardians in the Infinity War teaser there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think in the clip with the Guardians, there's a bunch of other bodies besides Thor floating around there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
We'll see.
Yeah, but my guess is that Korg is going to be the first to die.
You think so?
Oh
man.
yeah, for sure.
Shame. Piss off, Ghost! He's freaking
Right.
gone.
Yeah. So that's Thor Ragnarok. It's definitely the most critically acclaimed of the Thor movies, and the one that it really goes out of its way to embrace the lunacy of the comics.
Yeah,
in a very loving fashion.
Yes, I still not quite. I don't know if I can quantify like how is this any different from like what they did with the Joel Schumacher Batman movies?
Yeah.
With that kind of tonal shift.
Yeah.
Is it because like we have the good faith of the rest of the MCU to fall back on? Is it because we know that this isn't being done for just total naked merchandising greed any more than before?
Yeah.
You know, obviously, the MCU is a big cash cow.
Yeah.
Is it because it's still kind of in the spirit of the comics, even if like Thor and a lot of the other characters are acting differently?
Yeah.
I don't know, but somehow it all works.
Yeah. It's, the kinds of a big risk that the fans are always clamoring about. Hey, can you take the material seriously? It's like, what if we didn't?
What if we did, but we didn't?
Yeah, it's a more precarious balancing act than a lot of the fans can really appreciate sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Thor Ragnarok. It's a blast, as it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So we will catch you next time for Black Panther. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video. If you do, make sure to like, comment, and favorite. Click on my shield to subscribe for more new videos. Make sure you head on over to my official website, evilcloneproduction.com, for even more exclusive content. How many more of these?